Hello my little goldies, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to PencilMania. So before we get started, I'm going to show you my giant cappuccino that I made for myself. And I'm going to be sipping on that while I do this review, okay? So I'm reviewing today a new set of colored pencils that I got. I was sent these pencils by the manufacturers of them, and I was asked to do an honest review for them. Now in this review, in this video, we're going to be doing the pencil review, plus we're going to be doing a giveaway, but I'm not going to announce the giveaway until the end of the video, so you have to stay and watch the review first. I know, bad, but that's just the way it's gonna be. In order to see the giveaway footage, you have to stay and watch the rest of the video. Alright, so today we are going to be reviewing the 48 set of the Bayland colored pencils. Now, as I said, I was sent these pencils by the manufacturers in exchange for an honest review. So it comes in a nice cardboard box. It's a 48 set of colored pencils, and it says Bayland Supply Company. And it says Premier Luxe Series. It says Artist Grade Colored Pencils, and it says 48 Premium Colored Pencils. Okay, so it comes in this container. Now the 48 set is their only set that they offer. It's the largest, and it's the only one that they offer. I will include links to the colored pencil set on Amazon, as well as any other important links that you may want to see, like their product page and so forth. Okay, so anyway, as I said, it comes in this box, and there are 48 pencils in the set. And I went ahead and took them out of the box so that we could go ahead and look at the pencils. Okay, so as I said, there's 48 pencils in here. They sell for $22.95 on Amazon. Again, I will provide the links to the pencils from Amazon in the description section of the video. Don't forget to look at that. I'll include their product page and the other important links that, as I said, for your viewing pleasure. And also don't forget that my tip jar is down there. You can look at that if you so choose. And also I am an Amazon affiliate. So anytime you guys purchase anything from the links that I provide on Amazon, I get a small, tiny little commission back, and that just helps to support the channel. And that helps me to get more books, more supplies, and just improve things to keep our content fresh and new. Same thing with the tip jar. If you donate to the tip jar, it just helps to go right back into the channel so that I can make these videos for you guys. Okay, so let's get on with the review. So here are the pencils. As I said, I've taken them out of the box, and there are 48 pencils in here. Now, before I show you the pencil itself, here is the color swatch chart that I made. Now you're going to see that I do not have names or numbers on the pencils because as you're going to see in a minute, there are no names or numbers on these color pencils. But as you can see, we do have some pretty colors in here. And as you're going to see, we have quite a few greens and quite a few purples, although some of the shades look a little similar to each other. There's a couple of similar greens, a couple of similar purples. So it kind of would have been nice to have a little bit of variation in those, but there's still some very pretty colors. You're going to see that it's a harder leaded pencil, so to get to the darker shade, now what I did is I went from light to dark with varying pressures, as I usually do on my swatch charts, so that we could get an idea of what each pencil, the variation of color that each pencil holds. And so to get to the darker colors, you really do have to push because of the pencil being a harder leaded pencil. But there are some very pretty colors in here. The black that you're going to see here, it's not really the blackest black that I've seen in a colored pencil set, but I didn't expect that. Normally you're not going to get a real black pencil unless you get like a real you know, like a true artist grade pencil, like a Polychromos or a Prismacolor, that kind of thing. But it still colors, like if you want a shade of gray, you can still get kind of a dark gray out of it. It's just, you know, to get to this darkest color here, you really got to push. And then again, it's really not the blackest black that I've ever seen. It's really hard. It's really hard, next to impossible, to get like a real black out of a colored pencil. So that is to be expected. But as you can see, as I said, there are some very pretty colors in this set. Okay, so again, let me point out to you as we look at these pencils. Now the pencils themselves, I'm just pushing them back so I don't have an accident on the floor here, because I have a feeling that if these were to drop, they would break. Okay, so the pencil is a lightweight pencil, and the barrel is this really, really pretty blue color. The barrel is not the color of what you're going to get out of the pencil. All of the pencils, as you can see, are this blue color on the barrel. And it's a lightweight pencil, so it's not going to be one of those real heavy ones. So if you like a lighter weight pencil, then this is going to be great for you to hold. It's actually feather light. Sometimes I like a heavier pencil, but there's times where I just want something really light to just kind of rest in my hand, which is nice. So on the end here, you're going to see, and actually let me get a different pencil so that we can see it a little bit better. On the barrel, you are going to see, on the end of the barrel, you're going to see that there is a little cap on here that is supposed to be a representation of what the color that comes out of the core is. However, I've noticed that what is on here does not necessarily match what comes out of the core. It happens. There's a lot of color pencils that are like that. So some of them are kind of close, some of them really don't match what comes out of here. So you just have to swatch them out and just see what comes out of them for yourself. I would recommend doing that anyway, and I find that job very tedious, is making a swatch chart, but it does come in very, very useful so that you can look at your colors and have them right in front of you as you're choosing a color for your picture. Okay, so the thing that I don't like, however, let me just show you what is on this pencil. The thing that I don't like, however, you get the Bayland Supply Company written here on the pencil in silver, but on the pencil we don't have any names or any kind of numbering system on here. It's just a plain pencil with their company name on here with nothing else on there. So I urge you, when you make your next batch of pencils, please, 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 we would love to have the color name of the pencils written on there. And if you do a numbering system, great, but please, please, please consider writing the color name on the pencil itself, because it really, really makes our lives so much easier as colorists, to be able to know what the color name is that we're grabbing, instead of having to just kind of color it out on a piece of paper, or just to try to look at a swatch chart with no numbers and trying to match up what we've got here. It's just so much easier if we have the name, you know, the color name of the pencil that we are looking for written on here. It's just a nice, really, really nice addition to have. And you know, coloring is supposed to be stress-free and relaxing, and when we have to kind of search for a pencil without a color name, it kind of gets a little frustrating at times. So please, please consider putting color names on your pencils when you're making your next batch. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and look at, I'm going to put my color swatches back in my binder, but what we're going to go ahead and look at is how they layer, how they color. We're going to do a bit of color and gab in this video, some color and chat. So after we get done doing our testing, which you have seen in my PencilMania videos, we're going to test like how they layer, how they blend, how they erase, and so forth. Oh, don't fall, please. Okay, so I got some cardstock here, and we're going to see how these blend, how they erase, how they layer, how they color, all that good stuff. But before I actually get into that, I do want to tell you, I did want to talk a little bit more about the colors. Now, as you probably saw on the swatch chart, there's not too many grays. We don't have many grays. You could use that black as a gray if you go lightly, but there's not too many grays. So if you like coloring with gray, this is not a good set to find gray in there. Now, you can use the set as a like an addition to another set if you want to, but if you're looking for grays, you're not going to find it here. I wish we had like a true red in here, but we do have quite a few oranges, some yellows, purples, you know, so that, you know, that makes it nice. Again, the black isn't black, and I don't have any dark paper to test the white. Sometimes white color pencils don't always show up very well on dark paper, but you can still use it to blend with if you want to. Okay, so let's go ahead and just kind of look at how this colors. Now, before I get started with that, I'm going to tell you guys like I always tell you before, just in case we have any new people on the channel, I am coloring with the visual impairment, so I have to get pretty close to my work so I can see what I am doing. So just keep that in mind as you are watching this video. I try to keep my head out of the way as much as possible, but sometimes it doesn't always happen, and it's just the nature of the beast that I have to deal with. So please bear with me on that. All right, so let's go ahead and just look at how they color. Oops. Let's just look at how they color, and we'll do a little bit of layering and blending with them. Okay, so I'm gonna take an orange, and I'm just gonna kind of start out just lightly on this cardstock. Now, this cardstock I have probably isn't the best for colored pencils because there's a bit of tooth on here, and you're going to see some white spaces as we color with this. But the color does go down very nicely, and I'm just using a pretty light touch with this. Okay, so I'm just putting just some color on here, and then we'll just kind of test to see how it's going to layer. I've got this sort of reddish color here, which will add to the top of that. Now, I imagine that these pencils are wax based. They don't sell them open stock, so if you run out of a color, you're going to have to buy the set again. There's no open stock option for these pencils. So just keep that in mind as you are looking at these pencils. But they're a nice budget-friendly pencil to have, and they're very attractive pencils. As I said, the color goes down nicely with them. They are attractive pencils with the blue barrel. But if you like a pencil that has a barrel that's the same color as what you get with the core, you're not going to like how these are set up. But I think as long as you have a swatch chart, it's not too bad. I just wish that there were names and or numbers written on these pencils, preferably color names. Okay, so it seems to layer pretty nicely. Let's go ahead and add just a little bit more pressure, and I'm going to do that with a darker color. We'll add just a little bit of pressure, and we're going to see how it blends out. So I'm going to just kind of bring it over this way, and we're just going to see how it blends out, and I'm just going to make sure that I am in frame, which I am. Okay, so we'll just see how it blends out. And I want to thank Laura Selden for her help in pointing this company toward me so that I could review these pencils. And the people that run the company, the guy that I have been emailing a lot with, his name is Dave, and he seems very, very nice. I've had some great times emailing back and forth with him. So thank you, Laura, for telling them about me and about my YouTube channel. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start here. I'll just make a different pile here, or pile. I'll just make a different area here. And we'll get it to blend out. So I'm just going over this several times. Okay. And then, but see, as you can see, sometimes the cap on the back of the pencil does not match, doesn't necessarily match up with whatever color comes out of the core. Okay, so as you can see, I mean, it does lay down very, very nicely. It's just, if you want like a darker, vivid color, you're going to have to push down. And because this is a harder leaded pencil, pushing down on these could give you some hand or wrist pain if you are prone to that. So just bear that in mind if you're looking at these pencils. So it seems like it blends pretty nicely. We're getting a nice blend on here without having to do too much work on it. Can you guys see that? We'll do 2 more colors so that we can get a really nice look at that. All right, so I'm gonna pick these 2 colors here, and let me just color a little bit and see what we have, see if it might work well together. Okay, it might. Okay, so here is our lighter color, and I'm just gonna make a few passes with them. I'll just make a few passes with it here. So again, some of these colors are pretty light, so if you want to get it darker, you're really going to have to press down on it, and you know, to get that vivid color. Or you can just keep layering it and eventually it'll build up, like so. Okay, so then I'm going to take this color, it is considerably darker, and make a few passes with it. So I'm just doing some random color lay down over here just to kind of see how it's going to blend together. Okay. Get it to blend out. Lighten it up. See, it blends really nicely. I do have to say, it actually blends quite nicely without having to do too much work with it. As I said though, you're going to see some white showing through here on this paper, but I think it's the paper. But see, we're getting a really nice blend over here. I like that. So they've really done a good job with the formula, even though like it's a harder leaded pencil, but it blends, it actually blends out pretty nicely. It's not, it's actually pretty nice. We get a really nice blend with it. Okay, so let's look at erasability. Okay, so I'm just going to take the same color and I'm just going to do some light passes. On it, and then we'll increase the pressure. Actually, you know what? I think that's the darker or the lighter one. Let's do the darker one. It's a little easier to see. Let's try this. Okay, so I'm just going to make a few passes with it, some light passes on this part. Okay, and then whoops, we're going to increase the pressure a bit to make it a little darker. And then we're really going to make it dark. So to get this really dark color, I mean, like I said, you've really got to press down on this a lot to get that darker color. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab our Derwent eraser, and we're going to see how this erases. Okay, and move the pencils over slightly. Okay, so now we're right here. So I'm going to take the eraser and we're just going to erase. So the light part erases pretty nicely. The medium part, that erases actually pretty nicely right there. Can't really complain too much. Okay, let's look at the dark. Okay, so the darker it is, like with any other pencil, the darker it is, the harder it's going to be to take away that color. I mean, it still erases pretty good, but you're still going to see a bit of leftovers of that color there. So I would recommend just going with a layer it, you know, start out with light layers, because the darker it is, the harder it is to take away that color. But that's how it is with a lot of pencils. But still, you'll be able to take a lot of it off if you make a mistake. So especially if it's a lighter layer, you'll be able to take that off. But still, even with the darker layer, it still comes off pretty well. It's just, you're still going to see just a little bit of that, but it's still to the point where you would still be able to fix it pretty well if you if that happened. Okay, so we did our layering, we did our blending, we did our erasability, and I think we're going to do some coloring with them in an actual coloring book. Okay, so I'm going to take my trusty Mandala book here. Okay, and let's go ahead and pick out some colors. I'll be back. I'm going to pick out some colors, and then I will be back and we're going to show you what we're going to color, and we're going to show you what colors we're going to color with in this video. All right, then we're going to see what we can do with these colors right here. And we're not going to color a whole picture or anything. We're just going to do just a little bit of color and chat so that we can get an idea of how they work. Now, again, this is my Mandala book by Jim Gogarty. And this is one of the books that I like to use to kind of test some of my colors and stuff out. Another book that I like to use to test things out is my Geometrical Shapes coloring book. But I decided that we're going to be a little bit different, and we're gonna do this mandala today, or we're gonna work a little bit on this mandala today. And we'll get some bigger spaces in here so that we can do a little bit of shading and just kind of seeing how they're going to blend and stuff in an actual coloring book. And I'll talk about like what I think of the pencils as we go. Okay, let's look at these two colors. One thing with these pencils too is, again, like if you're going to color with these, you're going to have to look at your swatch chart to see what the color is, or you know, do a numbering system yourself. You know, come up with something yourself so that you do have something to go by. But as we can see in this book, the color is laying down very, very nicely, and I'm just using a light pressure right now in this on this design, or on this piece of the design right now. Okay, and I'm just going to color this middle part here, and I'll go in, I think, with the darker one, and we'll do a little bit of shading on it. Okay. So, what I think of these pencils, I like them. I think that these would be a really nice travel set to have, like if you're gonna go somewhere, and like if you don't want to take like your Prismacolors or whatever with you, the box that it comes in would be okay for traveling. You can just kind of throw that in your coloring bag or whatever, or your travel bag, like whatever you're doing. Again, I really wish that there were names of the colors on the pencils themselves, because it would really make things a lot easier, at least for me anyway. And I know as colorists, that's one thing a lot of people talk about, is the fact that, you know, do the pencils have names on them or numbers or whatever. A lot of the pencils have numbers, but I know we all like, most of us like, if there are names on the pencils. It just makes things much easier to do. And again, I'm trying to keep my head out of the way as much as possible so that we can actually see the color go down on here. And I'm going to bring just the darker color just kind of over like this just a little bit, so that we can blend in the lighter color with this. Okay. So sometimes, again, to get a vivid dark color, you're going to have to press down on the pencil to get that out. Otherwise, you're going to be layering. You're going to be doing a lot of layering, which I know a lot of people like to do. A lot of people don't mind the layering. And this does layer pretty nicely. There's some pencils that don't blend together very well at all, but these here seem to do a nice job of that. So, do I like these pencils? Yes, I do. I would definitely, these would be a choice to take with me for traveling, like on the road, especially like if you don't want to take a huge set, like a 150 set. But at the same time, you know, understand that you're not going to have a comprehensive list of colors in this set that you would like in even a 72 pencil set, because there are 48 pencils in here, and you know, when you're dealing with a limited color palette, you have to kind of pick and choose like what colors you're going to put in this. So we are lacking in gray. We don't have many grays. We don't have many flesh tones either. This is a set that you're not going to find flesh tones in. But this is a set that would be really nice for doing like nature. and flowers, because you do get some pretty blues and some pretty purples in here. So that, you know, that definitely helps. And then I'm going to take my lighter color and we're going to blend this out. Yeah, just a little bit right there of that darker color. So, would I recommend this set? Oh yeah, I would. Or if you're just starting out in coloring, you can get this would be a nice set to start with, because you do get a nice array of colors. It's just if you want to do gray, like, you know, let's say you want to do like buildings or something like that, and if you want to color with a lot of gray, you're not going to find it in this set. So, you know, just know that you're not going to have a lot of gray in here. So if you like coloring with gray, this isn't going to be a set for you to get. But you can do some really nice work with flowers, because you do get some nice pretty colors with that. And you get some really nice lighter shades too. So you get some nice variety with that, which makes it really cool. Okay, so then I'm going to take the same colors. So I'm going to take the darker one here, and we're just going to kind of go, we're just going to color just a little bit on these little pieces here. And then we'll take the lighter one and just kind of blend all that together. So I'm just doing some light pressure on this right now. And then I'll take this lighter color and color this part in here. I'm probably going to have to make the darker color a little bit darker, because, like I said, sometimes there's some similar shades in here. There are some similar shades in here, so you have to kind of work with it a little bit. But it blends together very nicely. I really can't complain about this at all. It's these really are some quite nice pencils to work with. And again, you know, this is a nice budget-friendly pencil, so you're not going to pay through the nose for them. And you do get a nice array of colors. So you can actually, you can make a really, really nice picture with these. They're nice and travel friendly, you know, because there's not going to be as many pencils in this set to travel with. And if you like just leaving them in the box, then you know, then they're really nice and easy to travel with that way. Or you can get a case for them, like I like to get, because I like to get cases for my color pencils. That I do. Okay. So again, I'm just going to go over here and put the darker color in. And then we'll blend it out with the lighter one. Oops. I hope everybody can see that. It would help if I get into frame, wouldn't it? Okay, so I hope everybody can see that. I'm zoomed in quite a bit, so hopefully we can see. Okay. So yes, I would recommend these pencils. They're at a good price. They, as I said, they sell for $22.95 on Amazon. I think they would make a really nice gift for someone who may want to start with, you know, if you're going to get something for somebody who is just starting out in coloring. I think this would be a really nice gift to get them. And to me, I think these are better than Crayola. And I don't mind Crayola. I mean, I still use my Crayola pencils. These would be probably on the same lines as like maybe Marco Raffines. Or maybe the Sooty Styles. Now, when I opened these up, they didn't stink like they didn't have that stinky smell that the Sooty Styles are famous for. So you don't have to worry about them smelling and having to air them out when you open them up, which makes it nice. The packaging, it would have been nice if they came in a tin, but I think if that happened, then they'd probably have to up the price. Because, you know, those tins I think are a little bit more expensive. But to me it really doesn't matter because I normally take them out of the original packaging anyway, and I will put them in a case. Just because that is what I like to do. So the drawbacks, now let's go over the pros and cons of these pencils. The drawback of these pencils mainly is that there are no names or even no numbers on the pencil itself. So you don't really know what color you're grabbing unless you swatch it out. Because, and again, I will say too that the ends of the barrel does not necessarily match what comes out of the pencil. So you're going to have to swatch them out so that you know what your colors look like. Either make a swatch chart or just, you know, grab yourself a piece of paper and and just kind of color on that and see if it's, you know, something you like. Which a lot of people do that. And if that's what you want to do, then you go for it. Another one is that if you are a person who likes to color with gray, this is not the set for you because there's not many grays in there. The black in the set isn't very black, but again, you get that a lot with some color pencil sets. This is a harder leaded pencil, so if you are someone who has a lot of wrist pain or hand pain, you could end up maybe feeling uncomfortable, especially if you press down to get a lot of color out of the pencil. So if you are heavy-handed, you're really going to have to be heavy-handed with this set to get your deep dark color that you may like to get. And just know that because it is a harder leaded pencil, pushing down, you're really going to have to push down to get that darker color if that's your thing. And so if you have hand pain or wrist pain, you may not be able to color with these for long stints of time because it is a harder leaded pencil. However, being a harder leaded pencil, you'll be able to color on like a Create Space paper without too much difficulty because harder leaded pencils seem to work better on that kind of paper. Let me get a sip of cappuccino here. The pros to these pencils, and there are quite a few. The pros is that there are some pretty colors in here, and the colors really do lay down nicely. I'm pretty much just using a light hand, a light to medium pressure, and I'm still getting out quite a bit of color. So if you like more of a lighter sort of pastel look, you know, if you don't want to press down on them, then, you know, this is a good set to have. You still get some really pretty color without having to press too much. It does blend very nicely. I'm not having any issue at all getting it to blend. You do get some pretty colors, albeit though that some of the shades are a little similar. Like some of the greens and some of the purples are kind of similar. But starting out, like if you are a beginner or if you just want a smaller set, this is a great set to have. So I do like these pencils and I'm glad that I have them. I'm really glad that I have them. They are a nice pencil to add to your collection, and the fact that it is budget friendly makes it nice. So if you don't want to spend a whole lot of money on your set of colored pencils, this makes it really, really nice. Okay, I'm having to move my book just a little bit so that I can get to my design here. So sorry about that for having to move my book, but I gotta move the book a little bit. Let's see. Get the right one here. Get the right pencil. So yeah, there's quite a bit that I like about these pencils, some things that I don't. Now there is no open stock option, so if you are the type who wants open stock, this set does not offer that. So as I said before in the video, if you run out of a color, you're going to have to buy the set again to get that one color, because there is no open stock option. Whoops. But if you want, you know, just a nice starter set or just a set to complement another set, you can get a lot out of this. And I do like them. I like them. So as you can tell, it's laying down the color quite nicely. You do get good color lay down with them. You can go bold, but just know that you're going to have to press down on it just a little bit to do that. Because it is a harder leaded pencil. I have said that, but I want to you know, stress the importance of that, because you know, these pencils are not going to be, you know, Prismacolors or you know, a softer pencil like that. So if you like a softer pencil, these may not be for you, although these are not as hard as what you know, some other sets that I have that I've used. However, I think they are hard enough that you will be able to work on Create Space paper pretty easily with them. So if you have books with that Create Space paper and you don't want to copy the page onto another type of paper, this set I think would be okay and would work very well on that paper. So there's a lot going for these pencils, and I certainly wish Bayland Supply Company you know, much success, and I wish them much success, and you know, hoping that you know, that you'll be able to develop even more really nice products, because what you have going here so far is quite nice. I actually like them. I really do. I actually like them a lot. So this is what we got so far with the mandala, and I just used a pretty light pressure. You can go bold if you want to, but just know that you got to press down to do that. So here is what we have so far on the mandala with these pencils. And so as you can tell, it does color nicely. You may have to press down a little bit to get some deep dark color, but you can still go pretty lightly and get some really nice color out of it. You don't have to press down on it. It is a harder leaded pencil, but it's not so hard that it's impossible. I think they would work really, really nicely on Create Space paper. So again, I think this would be a great starter set to have, or a set to complement other sets that you have. Now when they came in the box, they actually did come with a really, really sharp point. So they did a great job of sharpening them and giving us a really nice point to use to start out with. They do keep a point for a pretty good long time because it is a harder leaded pencil. So you're not going to be going through a lot of pencil very quickly. Unless, I mean, the harder you press, the more pencil you're going to go through. So you do have to keep that in mind. However, if you use a lighter pressure, you're not going to use up a lot of that core very quickly, okay? But the big drawbacks, like I said, is no names or numbers on the pencils themselves, which I hope that is going to be remedied in the future. And you don't get a whole lot of grays. So if you're somebody that likes to color with gray, this isn't going to be the set for you. However, this is a really nice set to color stuff like nature, because we do have a lot of greens and we've got quite a few purples, some blue, so you can do flowers and grass and stuff like that actually quite nicely. And what else? Being that is a 48 color set, you're not going to get as many colors, obviously, as you would in a bigger set. However, this would make a really nice travel set. So really handy to take with you if you are going on a trip. You can just throw the box into your coloring bag or your travel bag and go from there, although you can get a case for them if you so choose. It just comes packaged in this cardboard box. So some people like this kind of packaging, some people don't. For myself, it doesn't really matter to me because, like I said, I tend to put my stuff in a pencil case anyway. So I will be getting a separate case for these at some point. Okay. But the packaging, like the box, isn't always the easiest to deal with, like when you're trying to put your pencils back. I'll deal with that later. As I said, there's no open stock option, so if you run out of 1 or 2 colors, you have to buy the set again to get those 1 or 2 colors. The 48 set is the largest set that they have and the only set that they have. I don't know if they plan to make any others in the future or to add new colors or anything. But basically, I like these pencils. I think there's a really nice array of colors. It lays down very nicely. I can't complain about that. In a way, they kind of, a little bit, remind me a little bit of the Lyras in, not necessarily like how they feel, but just in the, kind of in the way they lay down, I think. Because the Lyras, I think, are a little bit of a harder leaded pencil, and they work very nicely in the Create Space paper. These are not as pigmented as the Lyras, but still you get some really nice color laydown, and you can always layer it. You can do, you know, a couple of different layers and get a darker color, or you can press down on it if you so choose. So basically what I would recommend is it makes a great gift for someone who is starting out in coloring if they want to see how they like coloring. It's a nice set for somebody to buy themselves in that way, or to give as a gift for someone that you may want to recruit into coloring, that kind of thing. They're not going to get so overwhelmed with the color choices because there's not that whole 150 that you get in Prismacolors, or the 120 like as in Polychromos. So these do make a nice addition to a collection, especially if you don't want a whole lot of colors, and if you're buying pencils on a budget. I think these are a nice choice to have. So yeah, I will link the pencils in the description section of this video along with their website. So out of 5 stars, I would probably give them a 4, simply because I do wish that there were names of the colors on the pencils. And Also because some of the shades are a little bit similar, like some of the greens are similar, some of the purples are similar, and I wish we had a couple more grays and maybe a couple more flesh tones. But other than that, I would recommend them. I like them. I can definitely see myself coloring with them quite a bit, especially if I am traveling. This will probably be a set that I will throw into my bag and take with me to do some coloring with. So yeah, thank you so much for sending me these pencils to review. I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed reviewing them, and I found coloring with them a very enjoyable experience. I will definitely be using them a lot. All right, so now, as promised, and I'm going to take a sip of my cappuccino. As promised, I have a giveaway announcement that I'm going to do. So you have seen my set of the Bayland colored pencils, but I have 4 sets to give away. Yes, you heard me, 4 sets to give away. So let me just show them to you so that you know that I speaketh the truth. So let's look at them. I have 1, I have 2, I have 3, I have 4 sets of Bayland colored pencils to give away. See? 1, 2, 3, 4. You guys see that? Oh, let's zoom out a little bit. I was zoomed in quite a bit here for this. Okay, so as I said, I have a giveaway, and we have 4 sets of the Bayland colored pencils to give away. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you guys see that? That does not include my own set, so they sent me 5 sets altogether, 1 to keep for myself and 4 to give away. Before I actually get on with the announcement of the details of how to enter, I do want to apologize because this is just going to be a US giveaway only. I don't think I could send them internationally without spending a fortune. I'm sorry. I wish I could include my friends from across the pond and so forth, but this is just going to be a US giveaway, so apologies for that. I will be doing giveaways in the future though, where we will do international giveaways. So, but this one here is just going to be for US only. So apologies for that. But how you're going to enter this giveaway now on this video only, just this video, and please just 1 entry per person. I don't want the whole video being, you know, like 500, like say 500 responses from like 1 person, because that's not fair. So 1 entry per person. So today is the 15th. So we're going to have, let's go until the 23rd. This video may not get uploaded until later tonight, and I want to have pretty much a week for everybody to enter this giveaway. So the giveaway will end on the 23rd at 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. Okay, so 11:59 p.m. on January 23rd, the giveaway will end 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. So here's what you got to do. You got to be subscribed to my channel. Yes, you do have to be a subscriber. So if you haven't subscribed already, do that now. And in this video only, 1 entry per person. Put in the comment section whatever you want to put in the comments. You can do any comment that you want to. But also, if you're going to enter the giveaway, make sure your comment includes what your favorite coloring medium is. Like, do you like pencils? Do you like markers? And if you want to elaborate, like what kinds of pencils do you, what's your favorite pencil? What's your favorite marker? So tell me whatever you want. Just include like what your favorite medium to use. What is your favorite medium? What is your favorite medium to color with? I'll spit it out eventually. Okay, so let me just recap. So the giveaway is going to go from now, which is the 15th, until January 23rd. The giveaway will end at 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. So be on the watch out for your time with that. To enter the giveaway, again on this video alone, only this video, and 1 entry per person. You can put whatever you want in the comment section. You can, you know, like how you would comment anyway. But if you are going to enter the giveaway, put in your comment, include in your comment what your favorite medium is to color with. And if you wish to elaborate, tell me what your favorite pencil is, what your favorite marker is, but you don't have to do that. You can just say what your favorite medium is to color with. And if you want to tell why, you can do that too. All right, so I hope you all understand that. If you have any questions, just let me know. And I will pick the winners on January 24th by random draw. And so when that happens, then I will put up an announcement of who won. And so then I will ask you to email me with your information to send the pencils to, and I will get those off into the mail as soon as possible. Okay, so I hope everybody understood that. Again, if you have any questions, just let me know. I hope you guys enjoyed this review and a little bit of coloring with the pencils. If you have any questions about that, just let me know. Leave a comment. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel. You're going to need to do that if you are going to enter the giveaway anyway. But also hit that bell so you can be notified when I upload new videos. Hit that like button, of course. You all have a great day, and we will talk to you in the next video. Okay, bye guys.